Hi, this is David McCann for WebTNG. In this video, I want to look at the WP Reset plugin. If you are a site builder or test WordPress themes and plugins, then WP Reset Pro is going to become an essential part of your toolkit. It's a game changer. Don't let the name fool you. Yes, WP Reset Pro allows you to reset your site in a number of different ways, but it also comes with a set of incredibly useful time-saving features. It has changed the way that I approach starter sites, build sites, and test themes and plugins. I've used reset plugins before, where you reset the WordPress database and content back to a clean install. This is sometimes useful for starting over on a site or for testing, but these plugins aren't perfect. Typically, the site title and admin user are preserved. However, items in the media library and uploads directory are orphaned, as their database links are wiped out but the files remain on disk. Also, plugins and themes that were not part of the original WordPress install remained, though they may be disabled. I'll admit that when I first saw WP Reset, I thought it was going to be a tool something along the lines of these other reset plugins. And WP Reset has those typical features, but it also includes a number of other useful tools. There is a free version in the WordPress plugin directory, and the free version is good. The free version currently has more than 200,000 active installs, and it has more than 280 5-star reviews. The active install base of the free version is growing at a rate of about 10,000 additional sites a month. So yes, it's starting to catch on. You install WP Reset the usual way from the WordPress plugin directory. Once it's activated, you'll find the menu for it under Tools. Under the Reset tab, the first thing you see is a lot of information telling about how the plugin works. Basically, it's telling you what will be deleted when you do a reset and what will remain. And this is pretty much the same set of items that will be deleted and remain that I mentioned in the introduction. Basically, the WordPress database is going to be reset, but media files and plugins and themes and the logged in user are going to remain. There's one thing we see that's already different in this information, and that's a discussion about creating snapshots. WP Reset comes with the ability to create a database snapshot. There's also information about the WP command line tool and the webhooks plugin, and this is more developer focused information. At the bottom is the form where you actually do the reset. You can choose to have the current theme reactivated, to reactivate the WP Reset plugin, and to reactivate all currently active plugins. I'll choose to reactivate the theme, but first I'm going to create a snapshot. When you create a snapshot, you give it a name so that you'll remember what the snapshot is. And now I'm going to reset the site. And if you choose to reactivate the WP Reset plugin, you get this notice that it was successful. Here I'm looking at the database tables for that site where we took a snapshot. By default, WordPress uses a WP underscore as the table prefix. And what WP Reset does, when you take a snapshot, it copies the active table set into another table set. And this is the way that it preserves the snapshots between resets, because the reset only resets the active tables and does not delete the tables in the snapshot sets. The second tab here is the tools. And this is the other thing that sets the free plugin apart from other database reset options. At the top is this index of tools. You can delete transients, you can clean the uploads folder, you can reset theme options, you can delete themes, delete plugins, empty or delete custom tables, or delete the htaccess file. And these things are pretty much what you need to do to reset the site back to a totally clean install. Under the index, there's a little form for each of these tools, so you can choose the one that you need to implement. The next tab is the Snapshots tab, and this is where you manage your snapshots. All of the snapshots show here in this table, and you have some actions. You can compare snapshots to the current database, the current set of tables. You can restore the snapshot, you can download it, or you can delete it. When you compare a snapshot, you get a pop-up. On the left side, we have the current tables, and on the right, we have the snapshot. The ones in green match, the ones in yellow do not. And if you click on one of the tables, you can do a diff comparison. The next tab is the Collections tab. This is a pro feature, and we'll talk about that more in a few minutes when we do the walkthrough of the pro version. The last tab here is the Support tab. Here's a link to the documentation and a link to the support forum on WordPress.org. The professional version of the plugin first became available in January of this year, and there was a limited sale to get some people using the pro features to provide feedback. I was fortunate to see the sale and make a purchase, and the pro version will be available for purchase on the WP Reset website in late March. I have here a site with the pro version installed. When you first install the pro version, there's an onboarding wizard. It checks to make sure that your site is compatible, and it makes an initial snapshot. The pro version comes with the ability to create automatic snapshots before running WP Reset tools or before manipulating plugins and themes. The pro version also comes with an emergency recovery script, and the onboarding wizard gives you the option to install that if you want. So let's install that and see what it looks like. When you install it, you get this information screen here with the link to the emergency recovery script. This is a randomly generated file name, which means that it's unlikely that anyone would accidentally stumble across it. However, it may be a good idea to only install this on your development sites and not on live production servers. You can install the emergency recovery script later, either from the Support tab, or you can FTP it over if, for example, you have a problem on a production site. I'm going to go ahead and go to the recovery interface. Here we have some information about the site. Here we can reinstall WordPress core files. We can disable plugins. We can activate or deactivate themes. We can reset user privileges and roles. We can create an admin account, or we can change the default WordPress URLs. These are the recovery steps that are currently available. I believe they're considering adding other ones in the future. So let's take a look at some of the differences with the pro version. One thing you'll see here on the Reset tab is that the information area is different. Instead of just telling us what Reset does, we see that there are 3 default types of reset now available. You can do an options reset, a site reset, or a nuclear reset. And this table shows what each of those different options does. The red X are the things that are removed, and the checks are things that remain. So an options reset is actually a step under the typical just database reset. The site reset is similar to what we saw with the free version. And then the nuclear reset would be what we saw with the free version, along with the application of the reset tools. For example, removing plugin files and theme files and items in the upload and WP content directory that are typically left behind after a reset. As before, you choose the panel here for the reset option you need. The Tools menu is also a little different in that you have some additional tools added. New tools include purge cache, delete local data, delete content, delete widgets, delete must-use plugins and drop-ins, clean the uploads folder, clean the WP contents folder, and switch WordPress version. I don't know of any other utility that allows you to easily change the WordPress version on your site. There you go. You can even install one of the beta versions. Let's take a quick look at the settings menu, because a feature of the Pro version is the ability to connect WP Reset to cloud storage. Currently supported are Dropbox, Google Drive, and pCloud. And if you have the agency version, then you also have the option to use the WP Reset Cloud for storage. Here we are on my Dropbox account, and you can see that the plugin creates a WP Reset folder, and under that a Snapshots folder, and here's a snapshot that I created yesterday. Under the Settings tab, there are also some snapshot settings for controlling when snapshots are automatically created, such as here I have turned on before running WP Reset tools, before doing updates and manipulating plugins and themes. On a set schedule is an option, and there's an option to automatically upload new snapshots to the cloud. There's the option to delete automatically made snapshots on a schedule, which I'd recommend in order to keep the database size down. There's the option to export snapshot using a slower version, and there's a setting to add create snapshot up in the toolbar. Let's go take a look at the Snapshots tab. So with the free version, we had the ability to manage the user created snapshots, and with the Pro version on the Snapshots tab, we can also manage the automatically created ones. Here are some snapshots that I created earlier. For instance, before the Hello Dolly plugin was deleted, before the AskMet anti-spam plugin was deleted, and before I upgraded the WP Reset Pro to the latest version. When you look at the snapshot actions, you can see there are some actions that are the same as the free version, such as restoring the snapshot, or deleting it, or comparing it to the current data. There's also an option to preview a snapshot, which is coming in a future version. You can edit the description, or you can upload the snapshot to Dropbox. This is the snapshot that I showed you I had uploaded to Dropbox earlier. And you can see you have the option to download it from Dropbox or delete it from Dropbox. Another feature of the Pro version are collections. From the Collections tab, you can create a new collection, or you can refresh a collection from the cloud. Here's a collection that I created earlier. I have the free Astra theme, and the free Elementor page builder, and the Pro Astra add-on. Here's how you add items to a collection. You can add a plugin or a theme, and you can pull it from WordPress.org, or you can upload a zip file. When you're pulling it from WordPress.org, you can type in the name of the plugin and it'll do a lookup to help you find it. And you can add a note, and this is added to your collection. When you add it from a zip file, then you get the option to upload it. You can add the license key, and when the collection is downloaded, WP Reset will try to automatically activate it for you. I don't think it can activate all plugins, but it can do a lot of them. And you can add your note. So I've already done that here. Things from the WordPress.org site are just added by reference, so that when you install a collection, it brings down the latest version. But the ones that you upload are added to your remote storage. So you have to have Remote Storage Connect in order to upload any. Here you have the options to install them individually or to edit or remove them. If we look at my remote storage, we see that WP Reset not only create a snapshots folder, but also a collections folder. And this is where it's storing the plugin zip file. So I'm going to switch now to another WordPress site where I've got WP Reset Pro installed. Let's go take a look at the back end. Let's take a look at the installed plugins. You'll see we have WP Reset Pro installed. Now let's go to the WP Reset menu. We see on this site, for instance, I have no snapshots made. We go to the Collections tab and we can see my collection that we created on the other site. And here I can edit it and add to it or delete it. So let's try installing this collection, see what happens. Now let's take a look at the plugins, and you can see our collection was installed. See if this will update. If it updates, it means the license was activated. Yep. So great. We can see that we were able to install the collection on another site. Let's go back now and let's look at the support tab. We can see that on the Pro version we have the option to install the emergency recovery script or rerun the onboarding wizard or contact support. There's also a tab here for license. We'll look at licensing in just a moment. Another feature of the Pro version is that you get access to the WP Reset dashboard on the WP Reset website. Here you can look at your purchases and download an invoice. Here you can look at your licenses, and if you have the agency version, there's a license manager where you can create a keyless license. That is, you can pre-authorize a domain so that when WP Reset Pro is installed on it, you can activate the Pro version without needing to use a license key. Another feature of the license manager is that you can set the license to be valid just until a particular date. On the Sites tab, you have the option to block a site from using a license. And then there's a Collections tab, and this is a feature that's being worked on as forthcoming. But if you have the higher level license, then you'll be able to store your collections on the WP Reset Cloud instead of your own local storage. And the same is true for snapshots. This is a feature that's coming but not yet implemented. And if you have the higher level license, then you'll be able to store your snapshot on the WP Reset Cloud instead of your own remote storage. So in summary and conclusion, we looked at the free version of the WP Reset plugin and saw that it's better than the generic reset plugins in two ways. First, it allows you to create and restore snapshots, and this is a huge boon for site builders and owners as it lets you do a quick save before a possibly risky operation. And secondly, the WP Reset plugin has some additional tools to help clean up a reset site that avoids possibly needing to connect to the site via FTP to delete files or go into the database directly. The Pro version of WP Reset is a game changer. You have more reset options and more tools. You also have automatic snapshots, which should speed up implementation as you don't need to stop and take a regular backup. Together with snapshots, the collection feature is changing how I approach starter sites. I used to have several starter sites depending on the type of project. Now I can have fewer and use the collections feature to create different theme, plugin, and content builds. Also, I don't know of any other tool that allows you to easily switch WordPress versions. The central dashboard is nice for those with the agency license, especially the Advanced License Manager. I can see the convenience of using one dashboard for snapshots and collections, but having the option of using your own cloud storage is probably sufficient in many cases. There are some things to keep in mind as you are evaluating WP Reset Pro. As noted earlier, the features of the Pro version are new and there could be rough edges. I'd be careful if you're using automated snapshots on sites with a large database, as you wouldn't want to run out of space. In terms of documentation, there is some, but it's a work in progress. Also, as we've seen, there are some features that haven't been released yet, but so far the company has been hitting their milestones. I've seen mention that they are considering adding a migration feature, which means that you could download a snapshot and then upload it and apply it on another site. That would be nice. The WP Reset plugin is developed by Web Factory. They've been in business for 10 years. The company also develops the WP Security Ninja plugin and has several other free and premium plugins. I've been very impressed and happy with WP Reset Pro. It addresses a number of pain points when building sites and testing themes and plugins. For example, when I review a product, I usually do a walkthrough 3 times. The first time to figure out how the product works, the second time to create the text version of the review, and the third time to create the video. WP Reset Pro has already changed my workflow and saved time, and I expect to see more time savings as I create more snapshots and collections to address different scenarios. I recommend taking a look at WP Reset Pro if you are a site builder or frequently test themes and plugins. So that's been the walkthrough and review of WP Reset. The text version of this video is available on the webtng.com website. There you'll find other reviews and tutorials. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching.